Good day, everybody. This is your man Shannon coming again on another edition of You're So Witty. You're So Witty is brought to you to bring hope, uplift you, give you something to smile about. And if you find something to smile about, we ask that you like and subscribe. Today, we're going to bring a subject to you today, and it's based on hope. Based on hope. You know, if you lose hope, you don't have anything else. So we're asking that you would listen very close. Hopefully, you'll find something that you can use. We got a great guest today. Miss Sonja Sanchez. Miss Sonja Sanchez will come in with us and talk with us. How you doing, Miss Sonja Sanchez, today?
I'm doing well. How about you, Shannon? I'm doing really good today.
Doing fine, doing fine. I appreciate your time and for you to come out. I know everybody's busy, and when I get a guest that'll give me some time, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So basically, before we get started, I always like to start off by asking someone to tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am Sonja Sanchez. I have two children, a son that is 29 and a daughter that is 27.
Okay.
A grandson, my first grandson, he is 3 years old.
Wow.
And I currently take care of my mother, and she lives with me. She is disabled, and these are the heartbeats of my life. Um, my background, I'm prior law enforcement over 20 years, and I am an entrepreneur. I have several businesses that I do. I dibble and dabble in a lot of things. At this stage in life right now, multiple streams of income are not optional. It's mandatory.
Right. That's awesome. Well, like I said again, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to talk about a subject today, and that subject is going to be hope. And as I said, if you don't have hope, you don't have much. So, in your words only, could you tell me what you think your definition of hope is?
My definition of hope, from me, it would be the definition of faith. That's what hope is.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. That's a very good answer. Very good answer. Let me ask you something. Another question. Has there ever been a time when things looked hopeless for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a very, very touchy subject in my life. There was a time in my life that things look hopeless. And for me, being able to stand in my faith is what gave me the ability to go through. This is the first time that I actually spoke about this publicly.
Okay.
However, November 8th, 2013, I had a stroke, and I had total weakness on the left side of my body, whereas I did not have any movement, and I had to learn how to do everything all over again. So it was a very dark place in my life, but in that dark place, having faith and having hope was something that was beneficial to me, that allowed me to persevere and push through.
Right.
And that ability to push through was knowing my why.
Okay.
And refusing to allow anything, anybody, to include the devil, to deter me from my confidence and what was going to put me through. And something that I know that I went through, not for me, but for somebody else.
Right.
When I had my stroke, of course, I had no pre-existing health issues that would have contributed to me even having a stroke. Young, healthy, eat healthy, exercise, nothing that would be the typical medical terminology of what a stroke is
Yeah.
to society and the average person.
Right.
I found out that I had a rare genetic blood disease that prevented me to have the ability to have any clotting factors in my body.
Okay.
So with me being a healthy person and eating healthy, vitamin K is a big contributor in your clotting factors. So therefore, because of the way I ate, my blood levels in my body were continuously getting thicker, unbeknownst to me.
Okay.
So my blood was so thick, it was to the point of like trying to suck a jello jiggler out of a straw, which we
Okay.
know would be absolutely impossible.
Right. Right. Right.
So with that being said, once my blood levels were too thick, it didn't allow the blood to pump through my veins and my heart, my vital organs, and to include my brain.
Wow.
That's what contributed me to have the stroke. Now, of course, that was not detected until about 3 months in, because of, they're looking at me as this healthy young lady, don't have any contributing factors. How is she laying here with total weakness, total no movement on the left side of my body, and they can't figure out why? No high blood pressure, no diabetes, nothing that would have contributed the clinical definition of a stroke. When I had my stroke, I was out on work for like 6 weeks on FMLA. I was going to the hospital, to the doctor at least 3 times a week, and they were doing every scan there could be, to be everything that needed to be done that they can possibly do, that they knew what to do besides that MRI, CAT scan, spinal tap, medications, I mean, everything.
Right. Right.
So therefore, after all of those came negative, I have been begging for MRI. And let's just be real with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insurance companies don't want to pay for MRIs until you exhaust all your other measures because it's so expensive. So therefore, that was the last resort. However, 6 weeks in, when it was determined that I had my stroke, I had the MRI after having a very explicit, if you will, conversation with my doctor to demand that I was going to get an MRI. Because at this point, I wasn't able to walk. I wasn't able to focus. I wasn't able to function. My head was about to explode. And they kept telling me, oh, you'll get better. Just take this medication, go home if you're not feeling better.
Right.
6 weeks in.
Right.
However, after the MRI, less than 24 hours, the doctor calls me back and says to me, she's screaming and crying and apologizing in the phone. And when she's doing this, of course, I'm getting alarmed because this is the doctor. How is she screaming and apologizing in the phone? And that's supposed to be me as the patient.
Right. That'll get you alarmed too.
Right, exactly. So of course I'm asking, excuse me, what's going on? And she's like, oh my God, I apologize, but your MRI revealed that you had a stroke.
Wow.
And that would be one of the reasons why you can't walk and you're not getting any better.
Wow.
And of course I had to comment on that to say, I guess that would explain why I'm not getting better and I'm continuously getting worse by the day. But fast forwarding, I go to the ER. Of course, they admit me. When my doctors came in my room,
right,
the doctors, the specialists, they come to meet you for the first time. I had an 11 by 14 picture in my windowsill of me and my children. I had a Bible, my Bible in the front, open in front of the picture. And I had a stiletto on each side
What's the deal with the stiletto? Explain that.
I'm gonna tell you about it. I had a stiletto on each side of the picture.
Yeah.
And so when the doctors came in to meet me, they look in the windowsill and they see this big 11 by 14 picture, and they see the Bible and they see the two stilettos. And by the way, these are some bad stilettos that my daughter had bought me.
Right.
Says, well, what is this? This is very odd. We've never seen anything like this. Tell me about it. Said, well, they said, is this some type of motivation? Said, absolutely, it's my motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Bible in the front represents God, because God is first.
Okay.
My family second, which is my photo of my family.
Yeah.
And my stilettos, because I'm a stiletto chick. I told him immediately, and that was less than a week of being admitted.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know when and I don't know how, because I know what you see laying here in this bed and I can't move. I can't do nothing for myself. Mm-hmm. But what I will tell you is the God that I serve, I'm going to walk again. I guarantee you I'm going to walk again. Yeah. And when I do, I'm going to get back in my stilettos. When you get to a place where you can't see that light in the end of the tunnel, when you have no hope to not only know how you're going to make it through, but the evidence is put in front of you to deter you.
Yeah.
To say you can't make it through.
Right.
Mine has a serious way of playing tricks on you. You feel hopeless. It feels like there is no end.
Well, let me ask you something. At what point did things start turning around? I mean, obviously you don't look like what you've been through. I mean, right now I'm looking at you. I'm trying to picture what you're telling me as opposed to what I'm seeing there. But God, like you said, what happened to turn it all around?
What turned it around was me being able to turn it over to God. Everything. I used to play the Book of Job in my earphones to sleep every night.
It sounds like the Book of Job. It really does.
And that's what they say.
Yeah.
Every night to sleep. Mm-hmm. I had a CNA who was an evangelist, and she used to pray with me. Mm-hmm. In addition to letting me try to give me reassurance, to let me know that this is just a season. My thought process was focusing on what I could control, which was my physical therapy.
Okay.
See, God had me on that other end, but I had to do my part.
There you go.
And when I tell you, it was amazing to see what God has done and see his works manifest in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
It's undescribable. Those moments of knowing that, wow, I could sleep because I'm not focused on the things that I can't change and I can't control. I'm focused on going to physical therapy every day, doing what I was in control of being able to do with, of course, God's help.
So the faith, you hear people say faith and works work together. You got to do some work as well as have faith. Some people just want the faith but no work. Some people have the work but they have no faith.
And faith with no works is dead.
It's dead. Yeah.
In any capacity of your life. I don't care what it is. Any capacity.
So you started doing some work.
I started doing some work.
Okay.
Let me go back to this situation here. I remember being in a hospital. I was in a hospital at that point, this one of them. And it had to be probably about a month.
Yeah.
And all of the hospitalists, the doctors, they gave up on me. They gave up on me. They told me that I reached my plateau. My quality of life was going to be what it was, and they were going to send me home, and that was just it. There was
Wow.
nothing else that they could do for me.
Wow.
And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, well, there's nothing else that you can do. There's some other things that we would do, but you don't qualify because of your age, because of, what you got going on. You don't qualify, but, there's nothing we can do. Because
Right.
see, when you are prone to clots,
Yeah.
the rehabilitation, the rehab, they will not accept you
Oh,
because you're a liability.
okay.
Because when you have blood clots and you're prone to clots,
Yeah.
you have to have minimal movement because they can easily break off and travel to your heart, lung, and brain and give you a pulmonary embolism, and you can die instantly.
Okay.
So
Huh.
therefore, they refused to accept me in physical therapy
I see.
because I was prone to clots.
I got you.
And so
Wow.
they told me they were going to discharge me. And I said, of course, well, I don't have anybody to take care of me. I don't have anybody to take care of me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I would like to play this out and see, what are you guys going to just discharge me or have somebody take me home, push me in my living room and just leave me there in my wheelchair?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this. It was about 11:30 at night. And I was in my room, and the doctor, her name is Dr. Sarmiento.
Mm-hmm.
She came in my room. Lights was off. I was watching TV. She came in my room and she says to me, okay, well, I read your chart and I see what you have going on. So I'm here to see you. She said, but I really want you to know something. She said, I'm a believer. Are you a believer? I said, absolutely. She said, well, I'm going to tell you. She said, this is my weekend. And I was literally traveling up 1941, going to Griffin, making my rounds. She said, and as I was driving up 1941, she said, God told me to turn my car back around and come and see you tonight.
Man.
She said, because what I could have done for you, I could have called the nurses and told them to come and do what I needed to do for you.
Yeah.
She said, but because I'm obedient, I turned my car around. So now I'm here.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, typically, doctors, they don't talk about religion and God,
No,
just
not
like
generally.
teachers
No.
in the school. They don't do that. So of course I'm looking at this little Asian lady,
Oh, she was
and
Asian. Okay.
um,
So she was an Asian lady.
yes, so I'm
Yeah.
looking at this little Asian
Yeah.
lady, and
Wow.
she exudes confidence, very, very boisterous.
Right.
And so she's like, okay, so tell me what's going on. So of course I let her know what's going on, and I'm frustrated, I'm crying because I'm like, every time a doctor comes in, 1 minute one is telling me one thing, the
Yeah.
next minute somebody's telling me something different.
Yeah.
Everybody's telling me things different. There's so much inconsistent. I don't know what to do.
Right.
And so she says, well, I see that you are being refused to go to physical therapy, and you got some other things that's going on that would prevent you from going to physical therapy. I say, yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
So she says to me, she says, well, I tell you what. She says, what we can do is we can implant an IVC filter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want that? And I was like, well, what is that?
I don't even
She
know
said,
what it is.
right. She said, it'll change your life. It'll be able to give you your life back.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I claim that in advance already. She said, and I claim it too.
Yeah.
She said, she explained to me what the IVC filter would do. And pretty much they would thread it through my aorta. And you remember back in the day, we go to the club and you have the little paper umbrella the umbrella to go in the drink.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
I might know something about that. Yeah.
right, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So basically it looks like that. And they thread it through your aorta, And
Wow.
when it gets up there, they open the umbrella up.
You know
And
what? Actually, I saw a special on that. I just recently saw a special on that. Now
And
that you
so
mentioned that. Yeah,
basically what happens is if you have a blood clot that breaks off, it's a
I
net.
saw that.
And so the blood clot will get caught in that net to
Yep.
prevent you from having a pulmonary
Yep.
embolism and dying instantly. And I
Wow.
said, well, absolutely. That's what of course, that's what I want. I said, but they did talk to me about it. And all the other doctors said, I can't have it. I don't meet the criteria, blah, 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 blah. She said, do you want it? I said, absolutely, I do. She said, then we claim it to be done. She said, I'm going to contact one of my colleagues who is a vascular surgeon,
Yeah.
and we're going to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. I said, will they be getting contact with me? You know what? She said, they'll contact you. So I
Wow.
said, okay. So she says, but I need to ask you one favor before I leave. And I said, okay. She said, now mind you, I'm crying, snotting the whole time. I'm telling you
Right.
what's going on with me, right?
Right. That's
So
understandable. Yeah.
she says, can I pray with you? And I said, absolutely, you can pray with me.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you
She put it
that
down.
what that woman prayed over my body,
Yeah.
she touched every limb on my body, from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. When I say that woman prayed over me,
Touched heaven. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
she said, consider it to be done. You're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
I was devastated, number one, because again, this is coming from a doctor.
Right.
You know,
Wait a minute now. Hold on. She was headed up I-75, right? Or what highway was she on?
1941, Terra Boulevard going to Griffin.
All right. So check this out. That alone, when somebody walk in and say I was headed somewhere and I ended up here because God told me to, right there, your ears got to perk up like, what?
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I already knew. So at that point, after prayer, she says, just so cool, calm, and collective. Okay. All righty. So I'm going to go now. So she was going out the door and I stopped. I said, hey, wait. I said, Dr. Sarmiento, can I ask you a favor? She said, sure. What is it that you need? I said, when I get out of here, would you promise to be my doctor?
Mm-hmm.
No matter how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Because mind you, she was just a hospitalist. She said, absolutely.
Wow.
And when I tell you the next day, the paramedics came and picked me up
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital
Mm-hmm.
to put me on the gurney to
Mhm.
take me to the vascular surgeon's office the
Mm-hmm.
next morning.
Right.
I get into the vascular surgeon's office and the vascular surgeon says, listen, Sonja, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to talk to me about anything. He said, Dr. Sarmiento called me over dinner with my family last night, told me your case, told me everything that you had going on, and we're going to do this IVC filter. I just need to know if you want to do it Wednesday or Friday. It was probably like Monday or Tuesday. So, of course, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Can I think about it? Like, I mean,
For it. Yeah.
right. I'm like,
Although you said yes.
I'm saying yes, but I'm like, okay, wait, all of this is coming too quick, too soon, or whatever. And so
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you can think about it, and we're going to take you back to the hospital, and let you just call. Here's the number, here's the card. You call and let the nurse know if you want to do it Wednesday or Friday,
Right.
and we'll do it. So I was like, okay. So mind you, I'm like in a blur, like, wow,
What happened here? Yeah.
obviously I scheduled it.
Yeah.
So the next day came and it was about 5:30 in the morning approximately. And two doctors came in and they came in, introduced themselves and said to me that they were here to take me down to surgery. So I said, well, where's my doctor? They were like, oh, due to the storm, he might not get here, and we're on the same team. You can feel safe with us, blah, blah, blah. See, Shannon, you shaking your head. You already know.
I
You,
already know.
you
Yeah, I know
already
how I would
know
have felt.
what
Yeah,
to say, Shannon. You already
I
know.
already know. Yeah, yeah.
What? So I said, wait a minute. I said, he's not here. They said, no, we don't know if he's going to make it. We have you on the schedule. We have other patients. So we need to go ahead and get you on down to surgery. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'm not going.
Hey.
He said, you're not going. The other doctor, well, why not? I said, because you don't even understand. I don't know if you're a believer, but you don't understand. All of this is in divine order.
Right.
You don't understand. Y'all can't do my surgery. So I stayed on that floor all day. Now, mind you, this is 5 o'clock in the morning. Probably around 8 o'clock, they sent a nurse in and tried to convince me to let the doctor do it, let another doctor do it. Another doctor came in. Another doctor came in. So this is probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because once I refused to have the surgery, of course, they tried to basically threaten me or scare me. Right. Well, if you don't let them do the surgery, we're just going to have to send you back to the stroke and the brain and stroke rehabilitation center, and we don't know when we're going to get to you or if you're going to be able to have the surgery. I said, that's fine. Y'all go ahead and discharge me. Y'all go ahead and take me back. Y'all can't.
Yeah.
Not at all. So at this point, this last nurse comes in, and when the last nurse comes in, she says to me, I understand that you are refusing surgery and the other doctors came in, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yes, ma'am, I did. And I gave her a snippet of a brief synopsis on why I refuse to let anybody do this surgery.
Man.
That lady looked at me and she said to me, she said, ma'am, I've never experienced this ever before in my life. She said, I'm a believer. She said, but you are sitting here incapacitated. You can't move on the left side of your body. And you've blessed me. She said, I totally get it. I totally understand. She said, wait 1 minute. Let me go outside and make a phone call. She went outside my door, Shannon. Apparently she called the doctor. And the doctor said, she asked him, was he going to make it?
Yeah.
He said, yes, I'm 10 minutes away.
See there?
He said, yes, I'm 10 minutes away. She came back. She said, I guess I won't be discharging you. You're going to have your surgery because the doctor's going to be here in 10 minutes.
So had you went on, you would have been under somebody else doing this. Yeah.
And in my faith, I knew that it was all in order of his plan. So I refused to let somebody else do that surgery.
What would you tell anybody? Because there's somebody listening or will be listening that's dealing with a hopeless situation. And your faith even went, because a lot of times when people put pressure on you, like either you do this now, we're not going, a lot of people would have caved.
Yeah. What I would say to anybody that's going through a situation where they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, they can't see any hope, you got to stand on to your faith. You got to give it to him. You have to turn over your situation to God. Be able to let go and let him take over. Because I say all the time, this is not me. I'm doing this today, Shannon.
Yeah.
I'm doing this to glorify God.
And he has
Not
been
for me. Not for me. Because I'm just the messenger.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking, and again, this is the first time that I've actually talked to somebody publicly per se.
I appreciate you coming on.
And I thank you for having me. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming. And let's be honest, it's overdue.
I don't, like I said, I don't know if I can even do this story justice. I don't. But I'm going to do my best. That's why I let you tell it the way you tell it, because it's your story, and I think it needs to be heard more. Because there's somebody in a nursing home, somebody in a hospital, somebody somewhere that might not have the faith you have and might just give up or believe that this is going to be your way of life after this point.
Right.
Hopefully our story today, here on this platform and wherever else you tell it, it's going to make a difference. I hope so anyway. I hope so.
I thank you for giving me this opportunity. You don't know how much you've been a blessing to me. You have no idea.
Yeah.
I thank you. I don't think anything happens by mistake. I don't think anything is an accident. I never have. And you have no idea how much you have blessed me in this moment to give me the opportunity to do what I know that I should have been doing a long time ago, is being able to give my testimony to bless somebody else, like you said, who thinks they can't make it through.
Oh, yes. Plenty.
Because you just gotta fight, and you gotta be able to allow God to be God.
Wow.
And stand in your faith. Stand in your faith to know that He got you. He got you.
Well, that was Miss Sonja Sanchez giving us her take here at the You're So Witty broadcast. I mean, what can we say to that? It's an incredible testimony. Here, what we do, we uplift, we encourage. We want to make you to be the best version of you that you can be. So with every story we bring, whether you feel like you can make it or not, we hope that you'll start to build confidence in all areas of your life. I won't touch on anything else because the story speaks for itself. If you like what you heard and these things are helping you, we ask that you like and subscribe. You're So Witty. Wit being mental sharpness, inventiveness, and keen intelligence. That's what we look to bring to each person. Help you to develop that if you don't have it. Hopefully each time you look at the show, you'll grow a little bit stronger. Remember, you too are so witty. Thank you.